In the 21st century, the world is more connected than ever before. Goods, ideas, and people move across continents in hours. But that same connection between planes, ports, and crowds can also move something else: diseases. What begins with a single mutation anywhere in the world can end up in your neighborhood in just days. This is the reality of infectious diseases in a globalized world. Now tonight, we're gonna investigate how pandemics begin, how they spread, and what science tells us about stopping them.
The story will continue in a moment.
A single movement known as a split over events is over most modern pandemic began: HPV, Ebola, SARS, and COVID-19. Each one stand with the transmissions from the animals to humans, one inside in the human body. A virus is hijacked our cells, facing them to replicate in the genetic codes. One infected cells become thousands, then millions. If that person sneeze in the room, touch doorknobs or broad plates, virus moves on silently, invisibly. Viruses are not alive in traditional sense. They're bacteria. They can reproduce on their own, but what they lack in complexity, they make up for efficiency, and that what makes them so dangerous. Scientists use something called basic reproduction numbers, or R0s, to trace how infections, diseases in are not off to means that each infections a person on average spread it to other measles to close to 18 COVID-19 hover between 2 and 6 in easy variant, but with more contagious strains like Omicron, it jumped dramatically. Understanding the number is key to stopping the spreads because of the R notch is above the virus group exponentially, and one that happen in population with no immunity, the world change. What we learn is that outbreaks are not just bad luck; they are results of how we live and how we travel. How we interact with the planet, deforestation in wildfire threat, urban overcrowding. These are just environmental issues. They are directly catalyzed for the next pandemic. The science is clear. We cannot stop every virus, but we can prepare for the question in the well. The question is, we will.
We walked around the campus of Michigan State University, America's premier land-grant institution, to provide us insight on what young people think of COVID.
Yep.
What's your name?
Rob.
Rob. Do you think that we'll see another pandemic in our lifetimes?
I don't know, but I'd say probably.
Would you be
At some point.
scared if another pandemic came?
Yeah, I would say so.
Where do you think COVID-19 came from?
A lab in China?
A lab in China. Okay. Do you trust the government to handle public health emergencies?
Not entirely, no. Not with
No.
the past history.
Right. How do you feel about vaccines in general? Are they safe?
I don't believe so.
No, they're not. Okay. And if another outbreak started tomorrow, what's the first thing that you're going to do?
Probably not what the government tells you.
Okay. The opposite of what the government tells you?
Depends on what they tell me to do. but
Okay,
I don't
okay.
wouldn't get vaccinated and stay 6 feet away.
Okay.
Continue to live my life.
Where do you usually get your health information?
not to be honest, I'm not like crazy into it like that,
Oh.
but I do not trust the vaccines and the randomness of COVID, how it came about and all.
Right.
But
Okay. Thank you, Rob.
of course, you as well.
Thank you. Okay. What's your name?
I'm Lindsay Scrivens.
Lindsay, nice to meet you. Do you think that we'll see another pandemic in your lifetime?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Where do you think COVID-19 came from?
That I could not say with confidence.
Okay. Do you trust the government to handle public health emergencies?
Currently, no.
Okay.
Past,
Okay.
maybe.
How do you feel about vaccines in general? Are they safe?
I would say so, yes.
If another outbreak started tomorrow, it's a dangerous world out there. Okay, what would you do first?
Try to inform myself as much as possible.
Okay, where do you usually get your health information?
Medical professionals in my family.
Okay, okay. And do you think people around you took the last pandemic seriously?
Is my demographic.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Where do you think COVID-19 came from?
From a lab in Wuhan in China.
Okay, and do you think we'll see another pandemic in our lifetimes?
I assume so, yeah.
How do you feel about vaccines in general?
If they come out too quickly, then I think they're like suspicious. But otherwise, vaccines are a good thing.
Where do you get your health information? And do you trust the government?
Depends on which government, but yes, sometimes, yeah. Mostly, I do.
What is the first thing that you would do if an outbreak started tomorrow?
If an outbreak started tomorrow, I would probably, I don't know, gather supplies and then stay at home.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate that. Stay
No problem.
safe.
No, thank
It's
you.
a dangerous world out
Yes,
there.
it is.
All right.
Your name? Mario.
Mario, nice to meet you. Do you think we'll see another pandemic in your lifetime?
I think so. Because
think
I think like this evil thing.
Okay, it's like an evil thing.
Yes.
Okay. Where do you think COVID-19 came from?
China.
Okay. Do you trust the government to handle public health emergencies?
I think they hide something.
They hide a
Yes,
lot of
like
stuff.
A lot of information. For example, like the COVID, where it started. Like this is still a unknown problem.
Okay. So how do you feel about vaccines in general? Are they safe?
It have some certain risk in using that. There are some cases that after people get infected, but in general, with the development of therapy, that's going to be getting safer and safer.
If another outbreak started tomorrow, what would you want to know first?
Where the outbreak started, so I can escape as fast as possible. Yes. Yes.
Where do you usually get your health information?
I think from news.
And do you think people around you took the last pandemic seriously?
I don't think so.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you scared of COVID?
No, because I survived.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I had COVID before.
Are you guys scared of COVID?
Not really.
No, not really.
Not anymore.
Not
COVID.
anymore. But you used to be scared of COVID?
Yes.
Like how scared would you say you were on like a 1 to 10 scale?
7.
You were 7?
Before I got COVID, it was low, like 4. But
Okay.
after I got COVID, it's gonna be 8.
8? After you got COVID, you
Yes.
became more scared?
Yes.
Okay.
It was so sick.
You didn't feel it. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. Thank you. All right, guys, what does everybody think of COVID-19? Not cool. No, COVID. Are you guys scared of like another disease like that coming? Like, what are you gonna do? You guys scared? Are you guys scared?
I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Honestly.
Yeah. So what happens? Like, would you trust the government? Like what they tell you about it?
Currently, no.
Well, what are you guys gonna? Where do you get your science information? Where do you guys get it? Mostly. What's up, guys? What do you guys think of COVID-19?
Science doesn't exist in a vacuum for public health to work. The message has to leave the lab and reach the living room. But in an age of misinformation and noise, that easier than said than done. When the World Health Organization or the CDC issues a guideline, 6 feet of distance, wear mask, get vaccine, it is not just a suggestion, it is message shaped by decades of data, models, and peer-reviewed science. But if that message gets tangled in jargons or buried under the technical graphs, it risks being ignored or worse, misunderstood. That is why effective communication in public health crisis is just vital, as the science itself. The right words and the right time for the right voice can save lives. In the early days of COVID-19, message changed quickly. Masks were discouraged and then encouraged. The shape, while based on the new evidence, sort confusions and doubts, and the doubt is fatal ground for the misinformations. The challenge is not just explaining what people should do, it is explaining why. How do you tell someone that a virus they cannot see is the danger? They're staying home and thought painful and the challenge is not just explaining what people should do, it is explaining why. How do we tell people that a virus that cannot see is danger? That is staying home through painful might save stranger's life. People health officials face this challenge every day. They must translate science into trust, number into actions, warning into wisdom. And it is not just about the delivering fact, it is about meeting people where they are, culturally, emotionally, and linguistically. The Facebook post can travel faster than virus. A tweet can undercut weeks of planning, but the trusted voice in familiar place and community leaders, neighbors, neighborhood doctors, a patient can be a bridge between the fears and the understanding. And in a crisis, and a bridging is everything. That bridging is everything. Yeah.
In the age of instant information, a virus wasn't the only thing that spread globally in 2020. Alongside COVID-19 came a deluge of misinformation, conspiracy theories, half-truths, and deliberate distortions that cost lives, fractured trust, and challenged our ability to distinguish fact from fiction.
Criticism for spreading misleading information about the severity of the coronavirus. Over the holiday weekend, during a White House event, the president claimed 99% of coronavirus cases are totally harmless. That statement is both scientifically and factually incorrect. CBS News White House correspondent Paula Reed reports.
Now we have tested almost 40 million people. By so doing, we show cases, 99% of which are totally harmless.
But that's something that is now being looked at, but we don't have any data to be able to say anything definitively.
And I hope they use the hydroxychloroquine, and they can also do it with Z-Pak, subject to your doctor's approval and all of that. But I hope they use it because I'll tell you what do you have to lose? In some cases, they're in bad shape. What do you have to lose? It's been out there for a long time, and I hope they use it. And they're going to look at with doctors, work with doctors, get what you have to get. But we have it stuck. Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. And this is their new hoax. But you know, we did something that's been pretty. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
Get the right folks who could.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside, or almost a cleaning? Because you see, it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number in the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds.
We decided to speak with two COVID skeptics to see what their opinion is on vaccines and the COVID-19 infection. Hi, how are you guys?
Good, and you?
What are your names?
Well, I'm Cletus.
Cletus?
I'm Darla Sue.
Darla Sue. Can you describe, how would you evaluate the credibility of mainstream media versus alternative news and like social media posts?
Well, I think it's all fake.
It's all fake?
All that news.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Mom.
You don't listen to Ma?
Yeah, Mom knows best.
You guys are related? Are you brother and sister? Or?
Oh yeah.
So, you guys don't believe that COVID-19 was a real thing?
No, sir.
It was like a hoax? Invent, like, why? What would be the motive to do that?
Well, I think the government wants to turn us gay.
Yeah.
It wants to turn you gay?
Or give us autism.
Oh, do you think that vaccines cause autism?
I think it does.
Have you ever taken a vaccine?
No, sir.
Where do you get a lot of your scientific information? Where do you get a lot of your info on
I
this?
told you already, Mom.
You just from your mother?
Yeah.
But don't you think that there are people that have more experience with this sort of thing, that know what they're talking about and have done research, countless hours of lab work and research about things like this?
No.
I think they're all stupid.
Yeah,
I don't think they know anything.
I think they're stupid, and I think they're lying to us.
Why would they lie?
To scare us.
What do you think of
Control
Dr.
us.
Fauci?
Fuck that guy, bro.
No.
Excuse me. Not pardon.
Okay, that's okay. What would it take? Okay, what would it take, Darla Sue and Cletus? You know, what would it take? What kind of evidence or proof would you need to change your mind, or would you not change your mind at all?
I'd never change my mind. I think the government have to come to my house and threaten me in order to do so.
So the government would have to like actively like
over my dead body.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Do you think that?
That's right, bro.
So you would never get a vaccine. You would never trust any information on this data. That's it.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Hell no.
I'd die sooner than that.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And I just had one last question for you guys. I mean, you said you're like brother and sister.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys like a couple?
You can say that.
Do you guys have children together?
Somewhat.
Some would say it. Bro.
So under no circumstance would you trust the doctors and the scientists on a pandemic? And what if something like that happened again?
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'd be fine?
Yeah.
What would you do? What's the first thing you would do?
Nothing happened last time. We'll be alright.
But nothing happened to you. There were a lot of people that did die.
Well, I'd stock up. I'd get my
It's
guns.
no different than the flu. The flu kills millions.
So you think that like science communication is not something that you trust at all?
No.
I believe in Jesus
I
Christ.
think we should.
Just Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ will protect us. Science is not real.
That's right. That's right. And I think we should shoot these science communicators.
You think we should shoot them?
Oh yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, Cletus. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Pleasure. Okay.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Manway.
Yeah. Although these skeptics are firm in their beliefs, better science communication and informing the public would greatly help educate the population and progress us towards a safer and healthier society. Now, we interviewed a wide variety of people tonight, from people that understand the vaccine, understand the flu, the COVID-19, and try and educate themselves, to people that straight up don't believe in the science and don't believe in the science communication. It is our job as a society to work together to try and inform one another, educate one another, and work towards a healthier society, a more livable society where nobody has to worry about infectious diseases like this spreading all over the world. Thank you for watching.
In the end, the fight against pandemic is not just fight in the hospitals or laboratories. It is fight in conversations, classrooms, and living rooms. COVID-19 relieves more than a virus. It exposed and the cracks in our system, in how we share information, what we trust, and how we respond when the facts change. We spoke with a skeptic, scientists, and students. Their views may differ, but the common thread is clear. Trusting is fragile. Misinformation is spread faster than any virus, but so can. We spoke with the skeptics and scientists and students. Their views may differ, but the common thread is clear. Trust is fragile, and misinformation is spread faster than any virus, but so can trust. If you work to communicate with honesty, empathy, and clarity, because the next pandemic is not a matter of if, it's when. Whether the fact it divides, because the next pandemic is not the matter of if, it's when, and the whether we face it divided or united will determine how many lives we save. Science gives us the tools, now it is up to us to use them.